Hello and welcome everybody. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a custom map for Supreme Commander 2 after 6 weeks of painstaking learning, including hiring a teacher, working through translation, and getting guidance from a fantastic map maker known as Massing. He is the official map maker who made the custom community maps that we all love today. And along with the help of some of his colleagues, we finally managed to simplify the map making process to a video. This video is part of a beginner-friendly series to focus on a single texture-based map, designed to help you get comfortable with the basics of map making process for Supreme Commander 2. Now, before we dive in, there are just 3 main tools that we're going to need. The first one being Blender. We use currently 4.4.1. Any higher version may cause issues with the model or break shaders because we've had that in the past, so we recommend sticking with the 4.4.1 for now. What goes along with Blender is a Blender kit. It is a free texture library plugin for Blender. If you haven't already, you should go download it and look it up and learn how to use that. It will let you easily grab free textures to use in your maps. Now, the other thing is you're going to need GIMP. You're going to need to learn how to use GIMP. It is a free image editing software that we'll use for some of the texture work and height map making. And then last but not least, we will also need a NVIDIA texture tool exporter. These are required to convert the and export textures to the DDS format that Supreme Commander 2 uses. Now, this guide is extremely simplified and made with the goal of opening up map making to the community. We've had input from a few experienced map makers, and we're excited to help more people to get involved in creating their own custom maps for the community. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so a couple things before we actually get started. We need to get organized. First off, there are a few essential scripts and folders you'll need to set up ahead of time. Your workspace should be clean and structured, and your template should look exactly like what I'll be showing you right here. If you want, feel free to copy my folder layout. If not, if you have your own way that works, that's fine. It will save you a lot of time and hassle down the road. And here, this is some of the things that you'll need. So you'll need a main asset folder. This is where you'll store everything Blender related, decorations, meshes, etc. Keep it clean and simple. Then you also need a Blender project save file. Always save your projects regularly. Blender can crash and supposedly sometimes does. You don't want to lose your progress because restarting will be a pain in the ass. And so next, you'll need a BDF output file. This is what you'll export your Blender map into. It's the format Supreme Commander 2 reads. A collision export script downloadable from the Discord. This lets you define where units can walk, and it's crucial for proper gameplay navigation. A converter tool for SC2. You'll need a program or script that tells you the game how to read your files correctly and convert them to the proper format. A texture folder. All your texture files, especially ones from Blender Kit, should go here. You'll need a FAF Editor. You'll use this to place mask points and export your map into Lua format. A height map folder to GIMP. This will save and export your 16-bit raw files that define terrain height. A baking height map folder separate from the GIMP one. This is used to bake unit pathing and terrain navigation. Miscellaneous file output folder. Just a place random files that you'll generate during the process to keep it nice and tidy. The NVIDIA texture tool folder, you'll need this to export DDS files properly and quickly. A PNG to RAW converter, also from Discord. This converts your PNG height maps into proper 16-bit RAW format. And a RAW to BDF converter to GIMP, used to generate collision data and output to usable BDF files. You can also use an optional shader folder. This isn't required for now, since we're sticking to single texture maps. But if you plan on using more advanced shaders, shout out to Massing for putting one together. Lastly, make sure to name your project folder clearly, especially the map folder itself. You'll also need a terrain export script for Blender, which will allow you to take your 3D terrain and export it to a BDF format that the game can load. If you get these tools and folders ready, and once everything's in place, we'll dive into the actual creation in the next video. However, one thing I want to stress is do not use spaces for some when you're exporting. And then in your regular documents folder, you're going to need to have the name of your map. You're going to have to use the name of your map with no spaces. no spaces, only use numbers and letters. The next thing you're going to need is you're going to need a blank map to use. Because you're going to be converting the stuff that you made and just rewriting over the files from the map itself from a different map. So basically, you're basically just rewriting a map that's already been made to make this process more simplified.